Hey dog nerds, today we are reviewing the Reece Studio Pets Print Ornament Pack, which I got for the dogs at TJ Maxx for Christmas. And it is a great way to go ahead and get your dogs or cats paw print now when the memory is going to be sweeter than having it when they pass. So that's why I got this. These are made into ornaments, so be sure to watch till the end because I will give you some tips that might help you in this process. Dansby is ready to try it. So let's take a look at what's inside before we go through the process. So, most important, your instructions. So the one thing that you're going to need that is not in here is a piece of aluminum foil. It says to put aluminum foil on a flat, hard object like a book, but we're just going to use the floor and see how that works. We have the air drying impression materials, so we have 2 of these. We have this ring because we're going to roll out the material, do the print, and then use this ring to cut it. Now this ring is really big for an ornament for our tree, so we actually have a little form for like cooking things. So we're going to try to use this and see if that works for us because we have small dogs with small paws. And then we have this bag that includes the rolling pin, ribbon, and a straw. So there's a straw to punch a hole in the ornament once it's ready. So that's the materials. Let's give this a whirl. Dansby's ready. So place aluminum foil, not included, on a flat object such as a book. We're just using the floor here. We need to knead the impression material for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so next step is to place the impression material on the foil and flatten into a rectangular shape. So I think I'm going to use my hands first.
You got a helper.
I do have a helper. He's a good helper. He's anxious.
So you switched over to parchment paper.
Yeah, so we switched over to parchment paper because the dogs are so skittish that when we peeled up their paw, it was rattling the aluminum foil. So, and we taped the parchment paper down. So I'm gonna try this with a dry paw because I think the wet paw was sticking, it was making it stick. And then it was pulling up and it was making them upset and scared. So we're gonna try just a dry paw and see what happens, okay? All right, so instead of using their really, really big disc, which I mean, I guess could have worked, I'm gonna try this one, and I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna center it. That way I can maybe write her name on the back of it. What do you think about that?
Yep.
All right, let's try this. All right, that's not bad. Yeah, it's got a little bit of an edge, so I'm just gonna kind of smooth that around. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't leave a spot for the hole to hang it from. All right, let's one more time, okay? Oh, here we go. Ready? Yes. Ta-da! Wonderful job. Here, actually it went through a little bit. That might break. So we are using our cutting device from our kitchen. because it's smaller. We have smaller dogs with smaller paws. So just gonna kind of smooth this edge out here. We are gonna take this straw and we're going to punch a hole in the top of the ornament. Ta-da! Now there is some debris in the impression. I'm not gonna worry about that. Strider, you're just gonna put your paw in there, okay? It's okay. Dansby was a little traumatized by that. Does not know why he's being forced to put his paw on something squishy and sticky. So his impression is not as deep, but that's okay. And the reason I like doing this now is because otherwise you get a paw print like this when your dog passes away from your vet. And it's kind of nice to have this like as a good memory, not a sad memory. So we are going to punch our hole. Did not turn out as well. There we go. Pushed it all the way through the back. Make sure. And then I will just write Dansby's name on the back. That took about what, an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're a perfectionist like me, it might take you longer. If Dansby weren't so scared, I would do his over again because it's not as deep, but you know what? That'll be part of the memory. So, all right, so let's take a look. This is Strider's print, and I think it made the camera go all wonky. It is a little bit deeper than Dansby's. She was a little bit more okay with me doing it than Dansby was. And I wrote the name and the year on the back. And then this is Dansby's. So his is a little less deep, a little less of an impression, but still pretty perfect. And okay, so a couple of tips with respect to the impressions and the process. So one, you can probably tell that I had to switch from their tiny little rolling pin to my rolling pin. It just made it way easier. So if you have your own rolling pin, stick with that. That makes it easier. And I can see why they said to use a book or something flat, because our floor surface has ridges in it, and the back side of the ornament did get some ridges because of that. So that's an important note. And the aluminum foil. So I get why they said to put aluminum foil down so it didn't stick, but our dogs got scared by the rustling of the aluminum foil. Like when you would pull the paw off, it did stick whether we used water or not. It says to wet the paw. And I think that maybe the fur in between the paws, especially on Striders, it made them nervous. So we used parchment paper instead of aluminum foil. And the wetting of the paw, I didn't douse their paw. I had a wet paper towel. So I'm still not certain what worked, maybe I didn't wet the paw enough, and that's why there was some sticking. So I ended up redoing it and not wetting their paw. And I think Strider just had a little that got stuck to her, but it was easy to get off and clean off. Those are my tips. If you've done something like this, let us know what you think. And just so you know, we paid $7.99 for this. I think it says compare at $12. So not a bad deal. $7.99 and some cute memories to hang on our tree every year. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. We really appreciate all your comments. We'd love to know what you'd like to hear us talk about in the future. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can be notified when we've got a new episode. Thanks so much. And until next time, bye.